Happy Christmas, hashtag Team Made Early, the very last update of 2020. In this one, I will be talking through some of the latest updates with regards to COVID. As you know, or you may have seen from the news, there's been lots of updates recently about our January return. I have written to you today, and I will follow it up with a bit more information in this PowerPoint as well. And then lots of exciting news that have been going on again, as always, at school this week. So to start, and I long for the day where I don't have to do this, but our COVID-19 update, there's been one case this week, and that is of year 11. The student had already been isolating since the end of November, and therefore no further action was required, and no students or staff members were required to isolate as a result of being a contact. The isolation period, as I mentioned earlier this week, has now changed. So contacts of a positive case are now confirmed to only isolate from 10 days. The initial day is day 0, so the day of contact, and then 10 days from there is the isolation period. Obviously, we don't want to be using this email, but we must do if a case comes about. So if you are notified of a positive case amongst a student or a staff member, please can you contact the MES COVID alert at maidenearlytrust.org. That will be on my phone at all times over the Christmas period, and we'll be tracing up to the 23rd of December. That should give us enough time to work back to today. So therefore, please make sure you use that email address to notify of a positive case. There's also been a lot of information with regards to rapid testing and the rapid lateral testing, which will be rolled out to all secondary schools from January the 4th. We've got a bit of information around this, and we are not there yet. We're waiting for further guidance. Nick Gibb, the Minister for Schools, has announced today that there will be further guidance produced next week for schools, and in addition, the training videos and so on will also be published at that point. We won't be in a position, we don't believe, to be able to roll this out on the 4th of January due to the logistics of it. We know that in some of the trial periods for care homes, for example, rolling this testing out, where there may only be maybe 1,000 to 2,000 beds across a county, it's taken up to 3 weeks to get this running. We've obviously got over 2,000 people on site that we would need to be testing. And therefore, logistically, looking at space, looking at staff, looking at volunteers, it's going to be highly unlikely that this will be started on the 4th of January. But we are going to implement it as soon as possible, and we're going to implement it properly because we genuinely believe that this can have a significant positive impact on the school community and keeping students in school and keeping the community safer. We also have asked for volunteers, so if you are interested in being a volunteer, please email the school office and we will pick that up in due course, and I thank you in advance if you do indeed put your name forwards for that. But obviously, I've sent a letter out to you today with regards to the start of the school term, which I'll talk to you in a second about, but also with regards to rapid testing, and I hope that provides you with lots of information. In addition to the announcement regarding the rapid testing yesterday as well, we were also informed that the DfE would like us to schedule this phased return for students back in the spring term. So week commencing the 4th of January, we'll see year 11 and 13 on site, and all of the year groups will be taught remotely. The teaching will be done via their full timetable, so they're 5 lessons a day, and their teachers will put the information on Google Classroom. So years 7, 8, 9, 10 and 12 will be learning from home on week commencing the 4th of January. Week commencing the 11th of January, we're expecting all students back on site to commence their full face-to-face timetable. But as I say, those learning at home and being taught remotely will have their full timetable delivered via various different platforms. I can only apologise for this. We were only given this information yesterday as well, and we brought this information to you as soon as possible once we can plan through the logistics. But again, apologies for that. We are running our pop-up school, which is for those who are deemed as vulnerable or children of key workers, and in addition there is some information regarding the provision of IT resources. This is all in the letter I've sent about this. Please take note of that and contact us if you have any concerns. Moving away from COVID and some really important news, the Trust has recently appointed Martin Judd to the position of Chair of the Local Advisory Board, and this is a really important role. The Local Advisory Board hold the school to account, and Martin is there to lead them and hold me to account as head teacher of this wonderful school. It's their role to make sure that the school can be the very best by being our critical friend, and he brings a wealth of experience with him. He was elected in 2019 and has already had a significant positive impact on the Local Advisory Board, and we wish him the very best of luck in his new role. I know he's going to challenge me, and I look forward to working with him. I'd like to put on record my thanks to Bob Kenrick and Headteacher Nawaz, who have been our Local Advisory Board leads over the past few years, and they've been really supportive, and certainly in the current climate with Ofsted and COVID, they've been an enormous help to me, so thank you to them. Another week, another challenge for myself to judge some wonderful activities that students have been getting involved in. For students in Year 7, when they're leaving primary school, I set them a challenge over the summer, and this one was to create a piece of artwork or something to represent the best of Maiden Early School. Congratulations to Charlotte in Year 7 for a winning entry, which you can see there in the picture. It was fantastic. And also congratulations to Luke, James and Lucy, who were the runners-up. Huge thank you to everyone who took part. I know it took time over the summer, but I was really blown away by the quality of what was produced and actually your understanding of what it's like to be Maiden Early students. As you can see, the competitions didn't just stop because of COVID in the last week of term. It was the MFL Christmas Bake Off competition, and one which I always love to judge, as I've mentioned before. You can see some of the pictures on the right hand side there. Absolutely phenomenal entries. They certainly wouldn't look out of place on the Great British Bake Off. It wasn't easy to decide the winners, and even less easy the fact that I couldn't taste them. But well done to Lily from Wild, Henry from Attenborough, Jonas from Curie, and Mrs. Ray from the staff body. Huge congratulations. Thank you to everyone who took part. Phenomenal achievements there in terms of what was produced. And hopefully next year, when COVID goes away, I'll be able to taste some of these again. Well done, everyone. It's always sad to say goodbye to staff, and we often have to do so at the end of a term. At the end of this term, we're saying goodbye to Mrs. Jane Coop from Maths. Mrs. Jane Coop has worked with us before and then has came back again. A real loss to the Maths department, and we wish her well in the future. And Miss Shawkat as well, who also works in the Maths department. Again, she's going into a different field, and we wish her the very best of luck in the future there. It's been absolutely brilliant having them as part of hashtag Team Maiden Early, and they will be missed by colleagues and students alike. Please do take time to look at News Blast, which is now available on the website, and the link has been sent to you. Mrs. Henderson works really hard on this behind the scenes, and this year is an absolute bumper effort with lots of information in there and lots of good news stories just to cheer us up before the festive break. Please do take time to read it, and I hope you enjoy seeing lots of valuable information about the school and what's been going on. And that's all, everyone. I want to take this opportunity to wish everyone a really relaxing and enjoyable festive break. We know it's going to be different this year, but everyone does indeed deserve to have that break. Stay safe, everyone. Have a brilliant time, and I look forward to seeing you all back in 2021, which, fingers crossed, will be a much better year for us all than this year has been.